Hello all, I am continuing this lecture on binomial theorem. Just I hope you remember all that was taught in the previous class. So, let us do a few questions. In the expansion of x squared plus 5 by x the whole raised to 17. Okay. Finding the 12th term I told you to do before, but suppose find the term in x raised to 10. So, look at it. The first term would be a term like x raised to 34. The last term would be a term like 1 by x raised to 17. So, the powers of x are going to keep on reducing. Okay. So, in between there could be this 10 is somewhere between 34 and minus 17. So, there could be a term in x raised to 10. If there is, you are asked to find the term. Okay. So, what is the term? Suppose the r plus 1th term is the term in x raised to 10. What is the general r plus 1th term? 17cr x squared raised to 17 minus r into 5 by x the whole raised to r. Now, in these kinds of questions, what you do is write the terms without x first and then with x separate. So, what are they? It is 17cr into 5 raised to r. What are the terms in x? Isn't it x raised to 34 minus 2r divided by x raised to r? So, what is the power of x in a general term? Isn't it 34 minus 3r? That, so this is 17c 4 into 5 raised to r into x raised to 34 minus 3r. You are asked to find the term in x raised to 10. So, what would you have? This 34 minus 3r would be 10, making 3r as 24, r is 8. Since r is 8, which term is the term in x raised to 10? It will be the 9th term. And what is the term? Substitute r equal to 8 here. The term is 17c8 5 raised to 8. This is the term in x raised to. Now, you got r as a whole positive integer. Instead of that, if you had got r either as a negative number or a fraction, say suppose you got something like 2 by 3. You can't say 2 by 3 plus 1th term is a term in x raised to whatever, right? So, in this, for a term to exist, you should the value of r should be a positive integer. So, let me just tweak this question a little more, and suppose in the same question, suppose you are asked to find the term in x raised to 11 also. So, as before, separate the terms with and without x. So, this power of x, which is 34 minus 3r, would now be 11, making 3r is 23, r is 23 by 3. Why is r a fraction, or what can you conclude when you get r as a fraction? You can just say that there is no term in x raised to 11 in this expansion. Is that clear? Now, the next one. Find the term independent of x in the expansion of 3x minus 2 by x cubed the whole raised to 15. So, as before, they may or may not be. Let us assume that there is a term independent of x and it is the r plus 1th term. So, what is the r plus 1th term? It is 15c, 15. It is 15cr 3x raised to 15 minus r into minus 2 by x cubed the whole raised to r. Separate the terms. It is 15cr 3 raised to 15 minus r into minus 2 raised to r. They are the terms without x. In x, what is it? X raised to 15 minus r, 15 minus r divided by x raised to 3r. So, what is the power of x? Isn't it 15 minus 4r? For it to be independent of x, what do you have? The power of x should be 0. So, this is equal to 0, making r as 15 by 4. It being a fraction, you can conclude that there is no term independent of x in this expansion. Now, the next one. If the term independent of x in the expansion of root x minus k by x squared, root x minus k by x squared, the whole raised to 10 is 405. Is 405. Find the value of k. If the term independent of x in this expansion. So, let the term be tr plus 1th term. So, what is it? It is 10cr root x raised to 10 minus r and minus k by x squared raised to r. Write the terms without x first. 10cr into minus k raised to r. What are the terms in x? X raised to 10 minus r by 2 divided by x raised to 2r. What is the power of x now? It is 10 minus r by 2 minus 2r is equal to 0. So, you have 10 minus r by 2 is 2r. So, 10 minus r is 4r, or 10 is 4r. So, r is equal to 2. So, it is a third term independent of x. And what is the term? Substituting r equal to 2 here, you have 10c2 minus k the whole raised to 2, that is the coefficient of the term independent of x, that is given to be 405. What is 10c2? 10 into 9 divided by 2 into k squared is 405. So, k squared is 405 divided by 45. So, what is it? 45, this goes 9 times, this is 81, k squared is 9, k is just the coefficient of x. So, it is okay, k can be negative also. So, the values of k are plus or minus 3. Now, the next one. If p is a real number, p is a real number, and if the middle term of p by 2 plus 2 the whole raised to 8 is 1120, the middle term is 1120, find the value of p. Okay. Now, 8 raised to 8, there are 9 terms, 5th will be the middle term. So, what is the 5th term? It is t4 plus 1, 8c4 p by 2 raised to 8 minus 4, which is 4 into 2 the whole raised to 4. So, this is given to be 1120. So, this is 8 into 7 into 6 into 5 divided by 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into p raised to 4 divided by 2 raised to 4 into 2 raised to 4 is 1120. So, p raised to 4 is 1120 divided by 70, that is 16. So, what is the value of p? Possible values are, because it is plus or minus 2 the whole raised to 4, p is plus or minus 2. Now, the next one. If the coefficient of x raised to n, in the expansion of 1 plus x the whole raised to 2n and 1 plus x the whole raised to 2n minus 1 are in the ratio, the options are given to you, 1 is to 2, 1 is to 3, 3 is to 1 or 2 is to 1. The coefficient of x raised to n in the expansion of both these. One way, the long way is actually there are 2n plus 1 terms here, find the middle term and all that. That is one way of doing it. Find the terms in x raised to n by the general formula for both these. Okay, and that is one way of doing it. But here the options are given to you. One of these 4 is going to be the answer. So, whatever be the value of n, it is going to be one of these 4. Let us make this question much simpler. Let us find the coefficient of x raised to 1 in the expansion of 1 plus x the whole squared and 1 plus x the whole raised to 1. What am I doing? I am substituting the smallest possible value of n to make our question simpler. The coefficient of x raised to 1 in 1 plus x the whole squared and 1 plus x the whole raised to 1. What is 1 plus x the whole squared? It is 1 plus 2x plus x squared. Here it is just 1 plus x. Coefficient of x raised to 1, here it's 2, here it's 1. So, you can easily write, because time is a premium for all these entrances, easily you can conclude that 2 is to 1 is your answer. Okay, next one. If the middle term in the expansion of 1 by x plus x sin x the whole raised to 10 is 7 and 7 by 8. 7 and 7 by 8. Find the values of x. Find x. Let us write down the middle terms. 11 terms are there. Middle term will be the 6th term, which is the 5 plus 1th term. What is it? 10c5 1 by x the whole raised to 5 into x sin x the whole raised to 5. Isn't this the middle term? That is given to be 7 and 7 by 8. So, 56 plus 7, 63 by 8. What is this? It is 10 fact. So, 10 into 9 into 8 into 7 into 6 divided by 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. So, you have these two cancelling. So, 3 goes in this 9 3 times, 5 goes in this 2 times into sin raised to 5x is 63 divided by 8. So, what would you have? Simplify. You will have simplify sin raised to 5x is 1 by 32. That is what you would get after simplification. What is 1 by 32? 1 by 2 raised to 5, making sin x as 1 by 2. Okay, you are asked to find all possible values of x here. So, one value is 30 degrees, But in a previous lecture on trigonometry, if you remember, I had told you that you have infinite number of solutions for this. How do you rewrite this? This 1 by 2 you can write as sine 30 or sine pi by 6. So, the infinite solution set is given by x is equal to n pi plus minus 1 raised to n into alpha. Alpha here in this form is pi by 6. Okay. This one, find the sixth term find the sixth term in y raised to 1 by 3 plus x raised to 1 by 2 plus y raised to 1 by 3 the whole raised to 10. You are asked to find the sixth term from the end. I am not going to do the entire thing. What is it? Just conclude that it is the sixth term from the beginning of this the whole raised to 10 and then proceed. Next one, find R if the coefficients of the 2R plus 4th terms, 2R plus 4th and R minus 2th terms in 1 plus x the whole raised to 18 are equal. Here what is given? The 2R plus 1th and the R plus 2th coefficients are equal, not the terms. Okay. So, write down what is the 2R plus 4th term and the R minus 2th term. By putting in that form, isn't it 2R plus 3 plus 1? So, which is 18 CR, that is 2R plus 3 into 1 raised to whatever and x raised to R, that is 2R plus 3. And here what is TR minus 2? Isn't it TR minus 3 plus 1? So, what is the coefficient? 18 CR minus 3 x raised to R minus 3. What is given? That these two are equal. So, you have 18C 2R plus 3 is 18C R minus 3. So, if NCR1 is NCR2, if NCR1 is NCR2, there are two conditions, either R1 equal to R2 or R1 plus R2 is N. Just reminding you that 100C20 is 100C80. What is the observation? Why is this NCR is NCN minus R? Conversely, how do I get this 100? Just observe that this 100 is just 20 plus 80. So, same way there are two conditions here, either 2R plus 3 is R minus 3 or 2R plus 3 plus R minus 3 is 18. Now, if this is the equation that holds, what do you have? R is equal to minus 6. Is that possible? I told you R has to be a positive integer. Here what do you observe? 3R is 18, R is equal to 6. This is your answer. Now, some important things in binomial coefficients. Okay. So, suppose you know the expansion of a plus b the whole raised to n. What is 1 plus 1 the whole raised to n? What do you have? It is nc, first is 1 raised to n, which is nc0. Next is NC1, 1 raised to n minus 1 into 1, which is 1. Next is NC2 plus etc. plus NCN. So, this is the first result. NC0 plus NC1 plus NC2 plus etc. NCN is 2 raised to n. Now, see, these are the sum of odd and even terms. Like, you know, I'm calling, when I say odd terms, I don't mean that the value is odd. I'm talking about the first, third and fifth and all. That's what I'm calling the odd terms. Now, similarly, if I expand this, you can do on your own. If I expand 1 minus 1, the whole raised to n, won't you have alternate positives and negatives? Okay, and what is the value of 1 minus 1? 0. So, if I rearrange, I would have NC0 plus NC2 plus NC4 plus etc. is equal to NC1 plus NC5 plus 3 plus NC5 and so on. Okay, now how much will the whole sum is 1 by 2. You are dividing that into 2 equal portions. So, each will be half of this portion. So, that is equal to 2 raised to half of 2 raised to n is 2 raised to n minus 1. So, let me just tell you with the help of a simple example, what is the value of 15C1 plus 15C2 plus etc. plus 15C15. According to this expansion, if there had been a 15C0 also, the value would have been 2 raised to 15. So, what is this value? It is 2 raised to 15 minus 15C0, which is equal to 1. So, that is the expansion of this. This is just an example. I will conclude this lecture with the help of a few more examples. What is, this is important, again, k equal to 0 to 10, 20 Ck. So, what is your question? Isn't it 20C0 plus 20C1 plus 20C2 plus etc. isn't plus up to 20C10? Isn't that your question? Okay, this is your question which I will call, this is what you have to evaluate. Let me call this as S. Now, I make use of the property NCR is NCN minus R. So, 20C0 is the same as 20C20 plus 20C19 plus 20C18 plus etc. This would be 20C10. That is also equal to your S. Okay, if I add these two, what would my right hand side be? It would be 2s. What is my left hand side? See, I would have all terms from 20C0, 20C1 plus etc. This is 10. Okay, 10 is being repeated, 10 is being repeated, but let's ignore that. So, from here onwards I am writing down in my sum. Okay. So, 20C0, 20C1, 20C10, 20C11 up to 20C20 plus what? Plus this I have ignored, I am going to write that also. So, what is this within the bracket? Isn't it 2 raised to 20 plus 20C10. So, what is our required S? 2 raised to 20 by 2, which is 2 raised to 19 plus 20C10 divided by 2. This is the expansion of this. Now, another one. What is the value of NC1 plus 2 into NC2 plus 3 into NC3 plus etc. plus N into NCN. You are asked to find this. Basically, what are you asked to find? They are terms of the form sigma R into NCR. Is it 2nc2, 3nc3, where r varies from here, this you would get by substituting r is equal to 1 and this by r is equal to n. This is how I can condense the left hand side. Let me evaluate this. Okay, this is r into, what is NCR? N factorial divided by r factorial into n minus r factorial. So, the r's are going to cancel. So, you have n factorial divided by r minus 1 factorial into n minus r factorial. Okay. Now, to write it in the form NCR, which is this n factorial by r factorial into n minus r factorial, what should strike you is that this value of this n is the sum of these two. Isn't it r plus n minus r? So, if I had this as the sum of these two, I could write it in the form NCR. Here, what is the sum of the two terms in the, before the factorial in the denominator? N minus r plus r minus 1, that is n minus 1, not Rn factorial. So, what I do is this n factorial I will rewrite as n into n minus 1 factorial divided by r minus 1 factorial into n minus r factorial. So, this is n into, what is this? Now, you observe this is the sum of these two is in the numerator equal to n minus 1 c r minus 1. I mean not the numerator, the entire term is equal to this. Now, let me go back to my question. So, this would be what? Sigma. This has been simplified to the form r is equal to 1 to n, n into n minus 1 c r minus 1. Now, here you should understand that with respect to the sigma, the variable is r. Okay, n, everything else is a constant, n is a constant. So, constants can be taken outside the sigma. What would you have? N into sigma r is equal to 1 to n, n minus 1 c r minus 1. Okay, so what is that? It is n into, vary r from 1 to n, you have n minus 1 c 0 plus n minus 1 c 1 r equal to 2 is that, plus etc. n minus 1 c n minus 1. So, by what we know before, what is that term within the square brackets? Isn't that 2 raised to n minus 1? So, what is this expansion? It is n into 2 raised to n minus 1. That is the expansion of this right hand side. So, I hope all these terms and all this chapter is clear to you. So, I will come back with another lecture in my next class.